Hey there, this is Andrea with the A.D.S agency, here to bring you the very best in marketing and branding tips, as well as business tips for those of you who are entrepreneurs, solopreneurs, and personal branders. Welcome. So glad to have you here on day 3 of the Hello Spring Challenge. And this year's challenge is all about email marketing. Email marketing, and it's really for the people who have never really built an email list from scratch before. So that's who we're chatting with. Or if those of you who have neglected your email list, you need a little prime pump time for your email list, this is also for you. So thanks for joining. So if you missed day 1 and day 2, you can still catch up because day 1 wasn't too hard. We were just saying hello to each other. Day 2, we were just talking about choosing your email service providers. You can go back, look through, get some ideas on which one to choose, but don't delay on that too long. Look through, make a decision, and keep rolling. So a lot of these you have no excuse because they're freebie accounts, a lot of them to start with. So you can at least play with them enough to know if you can like it, deal with it, work with it. So choose an email service provider. If you haven't already, go ahead and register up, do all the things, get your name registered and all that. If you're joining us, say hello. If you're live, say hi. And someone did, thank you. Hey, Stacey. You are welcome to come on in. If you go on Instagram, I left you an invite link to come in here if you want to chat about making that ask. Today is the rubber meets the road. How do you literally ask people, which you should ask people, and this will go over in the golden rules of email list marketing. Never just add people to your list willy-nilly without asking them. It's so rude. I know people have done it before. Don't do that. Do not do that. It's so rude. Hi, Jonathan. How are you? Like Clemson Tiger fan. How's it going? Good to see you. How'd you get that cool diamond emoji by your name? That was cool. All right, awesome. So thanks for joining. Oh, how do I do that? Oh, how do you come in here, or how do you get the diamond emoji by your name? If you want to come in here, Stacey, I sent you an invite on Instagram. So check your Instagram DM. It's got a little link. You can come in here and join me if you like. So let me know if you don't see it though. But hey, so good to see you. How's it going? How's your day been going and your year and all that good stuff? I'd love to know. All is well. Very good. Good to hear. Yeah, we're chatting about email lists. So I firmly believe everyone has a reason to have an email list. Literally everyone. If you don't think that you need one, let me know and I'm going to prove you wrong. So today is about, again, where the rubber meets the road, making that ask of how do you literally ask people to be on your email list. So it's difficult, it's kind of cringeworthy for a lot of people, and they're like, I don't know how to do that. So we're going to talk through that today. All right, and this is, again, day 3 of the Hello Spring Challenge. It's a freebie challenge. It's for 5 days. We're on day 3. You didn't miss a whole lot. You can still catch up. But it does require your time. Today is going to require your time, a minimum of a half hour at least to do this. Okay, so this is going to start requiring some time, but is it worth it? Yes. All right, so on to this important stuff. First, again, register for your email service provider if you haven't already. Mailchimp, Constant Contact, Aweber, whatever you want to go with. I'm close. Oh, you put the link? Okay. Good, Stacey. Yeah. So you should be able to come on in here. If you can't, let me know. Let me know. Hopefully, it's good to keep on in here. So I'll look out for you. But okay, so first, register for your email service provider. Second, this is important. So the second thing you want to do to get your email list ready, this is kind of like priming the pump stuff for people, again, who have no email list whatsoever to start with. Small businesses, personal brands, even people in the corporate space, you have a reason to have various email lists for different things. That's why at some point you need people to do something for you. So what I want you to do is think of 10 people. You can go to 100, you can do more. You could do more. But I want you to start with at least 10 to prove to yourself that you have 10 people in your circle that this works for. So think of 10 people who would appreciate what it is that you have to offer. Your industry thought leadership, what you're an expert in. I'm marketing and branding. I'm giving you value my expertise levels right now in terms of email marketing. Think of the people that can really use what it is that you have to offer. And then what you're going to do is list them out. And ideally, if you already have their email, because they're in your circle already, that's great. Ask them these questions over email. It's really simple questions, not multiple questions. But ask them this stuff over email. So that way, when they say yes, you can already get the notice on their email. You can also ask them in DM on LinkedIn, on Facebook, on Instagram, wherever you are connected already. That's a great place to ask people. And so okay. Oh, I thought this was coming in here. Okay. If you're just joining, please say hello. I'd love to say hi to you. But we're on step 2, which is for those of you who are on the Hello Spring Challenge. Oh, there's Stacy. Hi. Hold on, girl. I'm gonna get you in here. We have a guest joining us. So cool. Stacy, what's up, girl? Can you hear us? I think you gotta unmute yourself. Okay, yeah.
I got it.
You did it.
Hi.
Here.
So I'm loving what I'm hearing already, because when it comes to any form of marketing, the ask is so incredibly important.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Because the fastest way to get to people is to tap into your community. So I'm going to let you keep going, and I'm going to jump in as we go.
Okay. Yeah. Awesome. Well, I just want you guys to see who this is. Stacy Watts is my gal pal, my marketing gal pal in Canada. And we are so excited. We're going to be able to meet up with each other. Finally, we feel like we're like real in-person friends, but we never met in real life. And now we're going to get to meet at some point.
1 year.
Yeah. So excited. So yeah, using the email sources you already have. So what we're chatting about is like really, I don't want to say guerrilla style, but it's directly asking people to be on your list, but not in a cringy way. Like not, hey, be in my email list, which no one wants. No one wants that. So instead of just directly asking people, hey, be on my list, there's a much more natural way where that makes sense. So you're going to think about your target. So think about who is it that could have the most value from being on my list, who could most appreciate it. And so for us, Stacy, we're both marketers. It's small businesses, it's big businesses, it's brands, it's people who need marketing, which is really everybody.
Yes. Anyone who has an online business of some sort, or even a product. Your list is there for sure.
Exactly. You need a list, for the reasons we discussed on day 1. So this is like literally asking them. And so I actually got this tip from Pat Flynn. I'm going to show it to you.
Yeah, he's great.
Yeah, I love him. And when you see this, let me just skip over to it. So this is our little guide I made for the challenge. We're down to, we already chose the email service provider. We're down here on page 11, approaching people you already know. So this is kind of like priming your list. So it's literally asking them, this says, hi, Deborah, I'm going to be launching a new website about, or teaching people about, or releasing a new book about. And I thought of you because, I know that you're interested in that stuff.
Yes.
And you're definitely just confirming, does that interest you? That's, am I thinking right? Like, you like this, right?
Oh, exactly. Yeah, no. And I when you DM someone, you can totally DM them on the fly, but it does help to have a relationship built. As you know, I'm big on the know, like, and trust factor, and never going to someone's DM without offering some form of value and the what's in it for them. Not what's in it for me. Yeah, great, I get to build my email list. But what's in it for the person I'm messaging? Why do they want to join this email list? So these are great because Pat explains that, and you explain that in here. It's, what is the reason I'm sending this to you and I want to include you in my email list, not so I can spam you, not so I can have this like, fabulous 1,000-person list, but so that you can actually get value out of it too. And that's the biggest thing we got to remember when we're putting content out, when we're putting blog posts out, when we're putting, even thought leadership stuff and sharing your opinion on something. It's what's the value, what's in it for the audience, what is in it for the reader.
Exactly. Exactly. So that's how you do it in a way that's not cringeworthy.
Yeah.
Because again, nobody wants, hey, get on my email list for no reason. Just because I'm me, just because I asked you, because nobody needs more email, but everyone needs a solution to a problem that you can help them solve. And so that's what you've got to show them is, I know you're interested in this stuff for this reason. And so you're just confirming, yeah, I am interested in that actually. And so if you don't have their email yet, if you're already asking them on email and then they say, yes, I am actually interested in that stuff, then you're going to add them to this handy dandy spreadsheet, which is just a simple first name. You don't even have to get last name. It can be just first name and email. But you want to make sure that is case sensitive. So, because you're going to use that at some point. So you don't want it all caps, like, hey, Deborah, which would be yelling her name.
Right.
But, proper caps, so that when you want to personalize your email later, which is fancier stuff you can do, and you totally should, then it's already there and you can just say, hey, Deborah, and it just sounds natural, like she's your friend, which would be great.
And if I can make one suggestion, when you've taken the effort to send them a DM to say, hey, this is, I'm starting this email list, this is why, blah, 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 and they say, yes, I want to join, do not, please, send them a link and say, okay, fill this out, because now you've missed your opportunity, because 90% of those people are going to be like, okay, fine, and they'll ignore it, they'll forget. Or they'll try to fill it out and it's on their phone and it's too small and it's just not easy. And then months go by and you never actually get them on your list. If they have given you permission, say, great, may I have your email address? Exactly what you're saying. Put them in a spreadsheet. You go through the effort. You've asked. You take that step to go through the effort. I also like doing stuff like this publicly on my stories, and collecting email addresses that way too. Same, right? Like 90% of the time I know the person's name. I know their handle, so I also have that. And then I can also put their email address rather than putting out a link, because a lot of people right now, the link button is overused and they're not clicking on the link. Like I've tested it a number of times and it's like, they'll leave my stories, go to my profile, click on the link there, instead of the link they had easy access to, because it's just a natural reaction that we just don't trust the links that we have. So
that's true.
Yeah.
That's true. Yeah. And that's why I like, Pat Flynn's suggestion here to just add it to a spreadsheet. It's just a starter list. It's not how you're going to get all your emails. It's just thinking through, this is like the low hanging fruit, like the starting point, because they already know you. Chances are they already like and trust you. The golden rules of marketing. Like, and trust. And just you simply asking them in that way, where you're just saying, hey, I am doing this thing coming up. It's similar to like my book project with the Scotland book deal. It has a little email list going, and I've asked people in different ways to be on that list, but it's 90% of them are people who are like, I do want to be on that list and know when your book comes out, just because you've been talking about it forever and we really want that book to come out.
Yeah, I really want that book. I was thinking of you the other day with the Scotland book. I'm like, because I have an idea for a book and I've been speaking to Nathalie about it. And it's based on, believe it or not, every woman having a story to tell. Right? And how we use our stories. Also, of course, I always frame it back to marketing. And so I was thinking about your book the other day and I'm like, I wonder if she's finishing it and if she's got a marketing list I should be on, so I know when it is finished.
I do, and I shall send you that link later.
Excellent. So everybody who is live with us right now, send Andrea your email to get on the Scotland book list, because I think it's going to be pretty good.
I'm excited. I'm excited about it. So
Seeing how easy it was to ask.
yeah,
Really,
exactly.
it is that it's the thing is a lot of people, when it comes to sales, when it comes to promoting your business, when it comes to asking for an email address, everybody, we seem to put up this wall that it's like, oh, that's cringy, that's cringy, that's salesy, I don't like that. But people don't know unless you, and it's the same with like volunteering. They say don't just put out a note saying we're looking for volunteers. Actually approach somebody, add a personal twist to it, and say this is why we think you'd be great volunteer. Same with email. This is why I think you'd like to join the email address. So I like this approach. I think this is a fantastic way to get people back to being personal on social. Social on social.
Social on social. Exactly. Like Stacy on social,
Yeah.
Yes, and so that's the idea, just going through, thinking through who in my networks is not, they're not my parents, they're not my siblings, they're not my girlfriends I just go drinking with who could care less about what I do for a profession. Who are the people in my real world network that I know would benefit from being on this list and would like what they're seeing on this list. And so that's who we want. So make a list of at least those 10 people to start with. Again, you can go higher. You can go, I encourage you to get to 100 or more because these certainly got it in your network. I promise you. So start there. And then you're going to put them all in this spreadsheet. Let me pull it back up for people. A little simple spreadsheet like this with just a first name. Again, last name is kind of optional. You don't have to have it, but for sure, a first name with proper caps and the email address on the side. This is actually a real domain. I thought I was making all these domains up, and Wonderland.io is a real domain.
That's so funny.
But it's just
And
a splash
this,
page. Like, yeah.
yeah, this CVS or CS, is it CSV or CVS?
CSV. Mm-hmm.
This file also works on, I'm on ActiveCampaign. So I actually use this when I moved from MailChimp over to ActiveCampaign. That's exactly how I moved my list.
How do you like it?
I prefer it to MailChimp. I found MailChimp a little clunky. It's great for first timers. Like, so if you're brand new and you don't have a huge list and you're not wanting to segment your list and you're not wanting to also have sequences going out, I found MailChimp didn't work the way I needed it to, but ActiveCampaign is a very visual sequence. I also got a phone call and a one-on-one call with the owner, the founder of ActiveCampaign. So she actually called. At least I think it was her. It was her name. So, but she called and we talked, and she's like, "What do you need? Like, what do you want out of ActiveCampaign?" So they're always actively as well looking for feedback from their users. So you can go to them and be like, this part doesn't work. But the really neat part is that for a sequence, they actually create the flow chart for different style of sequences, and you just plug and play your information. So it's not like you have to reinvent the wheel each and every time you do a sequence. And for those who don't know what a sequence is, if you're doing like a 5-day challenge, like Andrea is doing right now, each email triggers something. So if you open email number 1, it'll trigger that. It'll send you email to number 2. If you don't open email number 2, it'll trigger a reminder. What just happened?
There's a little wasp that got in the house.
Oh, I see it. Oh,
yes. It's just trying to get outside. It's okay. It's just
okay.
like...
This is the real deal. This is live, guys. Oh my goodness. But
it's okay. It just wants to get out, but it can't get out that way.
Yeah. So what a sequence does, it is like it triggers different things. So that's why I love ActiveCampaign, because they actually put in the triggers and the tags, and they're like, tag here. If they don't open this email, then you tag them and they become a cold lead or a cold email. So it can get really complicated if you make it, but I think for the most part, Aweber is very similar. I think you said Constant Contact was the other one.
Yeah, we had Constant Contact. Let me pull this back up.
Aweber.
Mm-hmm.
But putting your stuff, oh yeah, Convertkit too as well. Putting your stuff into a CSV is smart because you control that. Oh, thanks, Angela. Yes, we're hysterical. But you control an email list. Like you and I've both seen what happens when Instagram and Facebook crashed one day and like they had a major API issue. And all of a sudden, we were looking at Twitter blew up that day. Like everybody went to Twitter. What's going on with with Instagram? What's going on with Facebook? And the nice part is, I sent out an email that day saying, "This is what you do." Okay, I hope it doesn't sting you.
No, you're fine.
Okay. So I sent an email out that day, literally an email to my list saying, "This is what you do if Instagram shuts down." And I had like 55% open rate, which is huge on email. Like 25% is usually the kind of the number you want to aim for. And so I had the biggest open rate ever. And using platforms like ActiveCampaign and Constant Contact and Aweber that allows sequencing on top of that, on stuff like a challenge like this, you'll get more opens than standard emails. So again, value is how you get people to, actually want to use your email and be on your emails. So anyways, I think I tied that together.
Yes, you did. No, I appreciate that storyline. And I'm not opposed to ActiveCampaign. I have a client who's using it now, and I think it's lovely. I just think for people starting out, it can feel really intimidating. Yeah, because they're like, what do you mean sequence? Well,
and MailChimp's great for templates, and it's great for lead magnet pages. Like
I haven't even used their lead magnet pages. I use lead pages for that, but I know you can do, oh my gosh, you can do like ads through MailChimp now and schedule stuff. And
your email can be scheduled out as a Facebook or Instagram post as well.
Yeah.
Which is for me, who's huge on repurposing. That's like one of my jams is like repurpose your content. It's a great way to repurpose your email content, your Instagram content to email, or Facebook or Twitter or whatever you're using. LinkedIn, as I think we're talking on LinkedIn as well right now.
Yes. Yeah. We're on LinkedIn, Facebook, and YouTube at the moment. So.
Hello, YouTube, Facebook, and LinkedIn.
Yeah. I'm so glad you guys could be introduced to my girl, Stacey, on social, my Canadian gal pal marketing chick. And so this was great. I'm so glad you could hop in and join us. If you're just joining or you're watching on the replay, the steps today are to register for your email service provider. If you haven't already, just go ahead and do the things and get yourself in there. Again, no excuse, because there's enough freebie options. You can just sign up for any one of those free. I think ActiveCampaign is one of the ones that's got a free option. So Stacey's latest favorite.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it does, but it's under 100 email addresses.
Probably 1,000.
1,000? I don't know.
Just look real fast.
I pay for mine.
Yes. Ultimately, you should pay for it because, ActiveCampaign, no, they don't have a free, but it's not expensive. It's $15 a month.
Well, and if you check Appsumo, sometimes ActiveCampaign or any one of these might even have a discount.
Yeah.
It's like my next favorite tool for anything I'm paying for on social.
Yeah. So all the other ones have freebie accounts too. So whether you choose one with a nominal monthly fee to start with, because you just know Stacey uses it, I want to use it, do it and register. Boom. So you can get that out of the way. And then the second thing you want to do is list the email sources you already have. So make that list of 10 minimum, do that. And third is to go ahead and make that ask, not in the cringeworthy way where we're saying, get on my email list, because no one does that, but in a nice value add way where they're like, yeah, I would want to know about when your book comes out, Andrea. So then they do have a reason to get on your list. And then add people to that spreadsheet as a start. So that is the work today. It is work. You're going to need at least a half hour minimum to get that cranked out. If not an hour. Email lists are work. I'm not going to lie to you. They are work.
But they're worth it. They're
They
worth
are
it.
so worth it. They are
So
so
worth it. If you
Yes.
think about the number of times we've heard of someone having their Instagram account hacked, or as we know, the different platforms shut down, like Apple had a problem yesterday. If you control your list, you won't ever have to worry. You lost your Twitter, as we know, you lost one of your Twitter accounts and you have to rebuild it. And that was a lot of asking for people to support that. And I know what the work that took to get it back up there. But
and then they let me have my old account back after months. But you're right. It was like 8 months. I was without my business Twitter. And for those of us who really use Twitter, that is tragic. So yes, she is 100% right. She is 100% right. I'm pointing this way at you in Canada.
we occasionally have our moments.
Yes. She's that way. She's that way. So by the way, tomorrow is my B-Day. Tomorrow's my B-Day for real. So, which is pretty cool. I thought yesterday I kept saying it was today. It's not today. It's tomorrow. So, come back for all of the super amp it up email tips. We're going to be talking about lead magnets, Stacy. So very excited about that. And that is really where the cool stuff comes in. Come, doggy. I see your dog in the background.
Oh, yeah. She hangs out right behind me. Right.
So cute. Puppy.
And she's just her ears.
I see you. I see her.
Yeah. She's sleeping. This is nap time for her, so she can nap. I'll definitely be back tomorrow. Maybe not live with y'all, but that's okay because I know Andrea has a lot to offer when it comes to lead magnets and explaining how those work. And I want to listen in on that because there's always something to learn from other marketers and other people in your community, even if they are in the same industry niche. You can always gain something. So definitely jump on that. And happy early birthday. It's my 4-year anniversary in business today.
Happy 4 years to you. Happy 4.
I know.
This is my 5.6.
And I think we've known each other for 3.
Holy heck. How we really
I know. Like we really so anybody who is listening to this is like, how is it we have never met in 3 years? Well, COVID. I was actually supposed to go to Social Media Marketing World in March 2020 and had just come back from Disneyland. So I was hemming and hawing, and then the world shut down. So out of Canada, thank you. Out of Canada, we couldn't leave all of a sudden. So it was like non-essential travel was like, but I had booked my social media marketing ticket. And to meet, I'm actually excited for that, but I'm more excited to meet you.
Likewise, because we have been on so many things together now. So it's so cool. I'm so glad you could join us live. And
I'm going to hop off now. You're welcome.
All right, people, we'll see you back here tomorrow, 5:30 p.m. Eastern time. That is 2:30 p.m. Pacific. If you're Mountain Time like Stacy, that's 1:30. Wait, 3:30. And if you're in the UK, that's 9:30 p.m. So we'll see you back here tomorrow for my B-Day. Yay. And don't forget your homework today. All right. And if you do not have the info, one last time, just go to hellospringchallenge.com and we'll get you caught up. All right, my dears. Have a good one. Get that work done on that email list, and we'll see you soon.